All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's Fit Crew workout, we've got a nice 3-round descending ladder for you. We're going to be doing 3 rounds descending reps of calories on the bike, GHD sit-ups, and push jerks. And we may be looking at this thinking, I don't have this bike. I don't know what a GHD is. The push jerk sounds kind of intimidating. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it, right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go. Let's get some arm circles going back, arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I'm a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through the Committed Club Academy. And in the Academy, we dig deep into the power of motivation. Plus, we dig deep into the science behind all the habits that we go after in this program. Why we need to drink so much water, why we need to get so much sleep, why it makes a difference what we eat. Of course, in addition to the benefits of flexi time and being consistent with the WODs. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, how has this helped you if you've attended the Academy once or even multiple times? Let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave here. And let's hear first from Twin One. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and how has the Academy helped you to stay on track?
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm in New York. I've been to the Academy several times, and I feel like a lot of us, we all know what we have to do to be a healthier person, like eat better, exercise, but do we do it? So the Academy really helps me stay on track with my eating habits because it refreshes me again, because those habits can the bad habits easily start creeping back in sometimes. And then when I go again, I adjust my eating habits again. And you get other good pointers from the class. So it really helps me to stay, on track.
Thank you for those reminders and the very refreshing confessions there that, hey, we all need reminders. We all need a little bit of encouragement every once in a while to do the things we know we need to do. Let's move on to some high knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Millicent. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and how has the Academy helped you to stay on track?
Hi, I'm Millicent from Chicago, and I've been to the Academy multiple times, and I really appreciate going back because sometimes you get used to doing the habits, but it becomes so routine, and sometimes you can slack a little bit. Whereas when you go to the Academy, it reminds you the purpose of the habits, how they benefit you, and it helps you to see the importance of doing those various things. And so you'll be in a position to revitalize in yourself the keeping up of the habits. So I really like going to the class because it really has helped me in that way. And then I learn other things as well as in the class.
So spoken like a true veteran of the Academy. Thank you so much for those reminders. And let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and how has the Academy helped you to stay on track?
Hi, my name's Bernicia. I'm from Georgia, and I went to the academy a couple of times, but this last time, I enjoyed it because we spent a week on each habit. So they gave you the opportunity, like if you were lacking in one of those areas, it'll give you the motivation to work more on it area. And I also like how at the end we review everything that we went over in the class, and the one good thing that came out of it, it was on demand for some that who couldn't even make it to the class. So that was an awesome feature for a lot of people to enjoy.
Thank you so much for that awesome reminder about the on-demand provision. And yeah, we know that life gets hectic and we need to fit all of this education and all of this program in around our crazy schedules. And that's why we're happy to provide the on-demand option that still allows you to participate live with your team at your own time. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so the Academy is the best way to fully understand everything this program has to offer and to really give us some motivation to kick our habits in gear and know why we're doing it. So please click that link that's in this video if you want to find out more, or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's go ahead and take a break from this warm-up, guys. And we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. So the first move we're doing is single leg raises. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 single leg raises for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to do some single arm raises like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 single leg raises, 5 on each side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are pointing those toes. We are getting those legs all the way up to about 90 degrees and then going slow on the way back down. And we're doing all the reps on one side before switching and doing the reps on the other side. And this is for even more core engagement. And so good job here on these single leg raises. Next, we're going to do some straight leg sit-ups. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the straight leg sit-up for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that straight leg sit-up is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the straight leg sit-up together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We are laying on our back with those arms behind us, and we are swinging those arms for momentum, reaching toward the toes or as close as we can to it. So we're just going to get as high up as we can, even with the torso, or if we can't reach the toes today, that's fine. The more we do the program, the more core strength and the more flexibility we're going to get. So good job here on these straight leg sit-ups. Next, we're going to do some stepping mountain climbers. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the stepping mountain climber for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to do some alternating forward arm raises like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the stepping mountain climber. And so a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to be on the ground, taking a big step forward, getting the foot outside the hand. Now, it could be that this is a bit hard on our wrists, In which case we can choose to do this off of an incline. Let's have twin one demonstrate a couple reps off the incline here. So this could be off of a counter, it could be off a sofa, could even be off the wall. But we're going to get into a nice incline plank, getting those feet far back, but then we're going to raise the knee to the elbow. And that's an incline mountain climber for us. And so good job on these mountain climbers, whether we're doing it from the ground or whether we're doing it off the incline. Next, we're going to do some plank shoulder taps. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 plank shoulder taps on each side for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those plank shoulder taps are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 plank shoulder taps on each side. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to be in a nice tight plank position with those hips low, squeezing those glutes, keeping the chest and the hips square with the ground as we shift the weight and tap the opposite shoulder. Now, similar to those mountain climbers, it could be that doing this off the ground is hard on the wrist, in which case we could do this off of an incline as well. It could be off a sofa, off a counter, or even off the wall. But we're going to be in that nice incline plank position, shifting the weight, tapping the opposite side under Kirby's watchful eye, of course. And so good job here on these plank shoulder taps. Next, we're going to do some bird dogs. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the bird dog for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the bird dog together. So on this bird dog, we're going to be on hands and knees, and we're going to raise opposite arm, opposite leg, holding the top there for about 2 seconds before switching sides. Now, it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we can choose to do the dead bug, which is the upside down version of the bird dog. And we're going to have those arms and knees in the air, and we're going to lower opposite arm, opposite leg. So similar benefit, but we are just moving the opposite way here. And so good job here on these bird dogs or dead bugs, if that's what we choose to do. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. We always warm up super light before we go heavy. Plus, today we're using this mostly just for extra shoulder mobility. So nothing heavier than a broomstick for now. So with this broomstick in hand, let's do some pass-throughs. And let's go ahead and have Iron Man Dean demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those pass-throughs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 pass-throughs together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to have a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we're going to pull it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back. belly button in the front. And of course, we want to keep a nice pass-through smile, which is going to relax those muscles and have a fluid range of motion. And so good job here on these pass-throughs. Next, we're going to do some deadlifts. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 deadlifts for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So a couple things to keep in mind. At the start of the deadlift, those feet are going to be close together underneath the hips. And we're going to have those hips super low, chest up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing, locked out position. And we, of course, want to brace ourselves on the way back down as well. And so good job here on these deadlifts. Next, we're going to do some power cleans. Let's have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the power clean for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those power cleans are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the power clean together. So a couple things to keep in mind. That power clean is going to start the same way as the deadlift. Feet close together, hips low, chest up. Only difference being, we're going to really use the power of the hips and the legs. As soon as that broomstick reaches the knees, we're going to jump that bar up to the shoulders, flipping those elbows, really using the power of the hips to jump that up. Now, if this is a lot of jumping and landing for us, it's a lot of impact on those joints, then we can do the muscle clean instead. Let's have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the muscle clean here. So same starting position, same finishing position without the jump and the land. But good job here on these power cleans or muscle cleans, if that's what we choose to do. Next, we're going to do some strict press. Let's have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We're going to have a nice firm grip on that broomstick. Hands right outside the shoulders, feet close together. And we're going to take a deep breath in, pressing those arms back as we press the head through. And we're looking to get those biceps into the ears. And we want to get those elbows up at the bottom every single time. We don't want to let those elbows get behind us. So notice how twin one is getting those elbows back into what's called a high rack position with those elbows nice and high each time. And so good job here on the strict press. And finally, we're going to hit some push press. And let's have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the push press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the push press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the push press. And so on the push press, we're going to start the same way as that strict press, feet close together, hands right outside the shoulders, elbows nice and high. Except now we're going to use the power of the hips to help power that up. We're going to bend those hips and those knees to hit a little dip. And then we're going to drive, getting the head through, shoulders back, getting the biceps into the ear at the top. And so good job here on this push press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is the bike. So specifically, we're talking about an air bike. If you happen to have an assault bike or a Rogue Echo bike, what I'd like you to do is to hop on that bike or any bike that you have. And we're going to do a 1-minute test here where you're going to test your output, whether it's in calories or whatever machine or whatever output that your machine measures. And we're going to see what your capacity is on that bike for 1 minute. But most of us don't have these machines. We are the machines. We're going to do a body weight modification for the bike that preserves the stimulus of racking up those calories. We're going to do a combination of mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. 1 mountain climber and 1 plank shoulder tap on each side equals a calorie on our body weight bike. So to be clear, let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 calories on the body weight bike. That is 1. That is 2. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then each calorie on the bike is going to look like this. That was 1. That was 2. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 calories on our body weight bike. Now, it could be that we were doing this off of the incline in the warm-up, in which case we can continue to do that here, just like Millicent is doing. We're going to do a combination of those incline knees to elbow and the incline plank shoulder taps. And step, step, tap, tap is going to equal a calorie for us there. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, notice how in the warm-up we were stepping out those mountain climbers. In the workout here, we can choose to jump them if we so choose to really rack up those calories. But let's remember that stepping is always an option as needed as well. And so good job here on the bike. The second move that we're doing in today's workout is GHD sit-ups. The GHD is an awesome piece of apparatus that helps us, if we're ready for it, to increase range of motion on sit-ups. And so I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate 2 reps of the GHD sit-up. So a couple key things there. On the GHD, we definitely don't want to go straight into that if we have not been training for it. And even if we have, it's good to warm up with some back extensions and face down, learning to brace that core before we go straight into those GHD sit-ups. And every single rep, we want to make sure we breathe deep, brace, and touch all the way down before touching the pads at the top to finish. But most of us don't have a GHD. We're going to do an at-home modification for those GHD sit-ups, doing potentially weighted sit-ups. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the weighted sit-up there. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're going to grab a light dumbbell to warm up. And we're going to hit a couple weighted sit-ups from the seated position like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 reps of the weighted sit-up or something like it. Now, notice what we're doing here with the weight. We are hugging the weight and sitting up. We are not punching that weight out. That is not the intention of what we're doing here. So if this is really challenging for us, even without the weight, so be it. Let's have Twin One show us a couple reps of the unweighted sit-up with the arms folded across the chest, which is still a very big challenge here. And that's another option for us. And if this is kind of crazy, then we can just go back to doing some of those straight leg sit-ups, swinging those arms as much as needed. Now, if we happen to have a decline bench, just like Ironman Dean has over there, then that is another option for us, but it should be noted, let's definitely not do this unless we can do the unassisted sit-ups from the ground with the arms folded across the chest. So we notice Dean able to get the full range of motion with the arms folded across the chest here. And so good job on these sit-ups. The third move that we're doing in today's workout is push jerks. So let's go ahead and grab that broomstick as we practice the push jerk. So with the broomstick in hand, let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the push jerk for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those push jerks are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the push jerk here. Now, the push jerk is similar to that push press that we were doing before, in that, we're having that little dip there, except the difference is after that first little dip, we are punching again underneath. And notice what we're doing today. We're doing the push jerk, not the split jerk. So we may have known the split jerk from other workouts, and that's not what we're doing here today. Today, we're keeping the feet in line with each other. We're hitting that dip, we're punching under it, and we are standing to finish. Now, the timing of that jerk and getting underneath definitely does take some practice. So if it's better for us to just do that push press, just the one dip and press out, that's fine as well. And so good job here on these push jerks or the push press if that's better for us. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to start earning badges and you want to add some weight to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight for today's workouts, then let's start to gradually add some weight doing some practice sets of about 3 to 5 push jerks at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for today's workout. And we've got plenty of time to do at least 3 to 5 practice sets here. And so let's not rush going straight to a super heavy weight. But if we have not earned our first badge, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then we are not adding any weight today. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all of our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. So trust me, if we need to use just the broomstick for today, if we have not earned badges, still going to be a great workout. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklists. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. Let's make sure we've got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. Your music is way better than my music. I can guarantee it. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 3-round workout. The reps start high and they're getting lower. It's easy to lose track of where we are and what we're doing. So let's have some type of system in place to help us keep track of things without getting lost. Something that helps with that is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Millicent, first to the screen today, winning the Teacher's Pet Award, Mighty Mouse, very close second with the scorecard award. And we've got Twin One with the multiple color award, and Dean, as always, with the handwriting award. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this Wacky Wednesday workout, which is 21-15-9 of calories on the bike, GHD sit-ups, and push jerks. So specifically, we're doing 21 calories on the bike, followed by 21 GHD sit-ups and 21 push jerks. Then 15 calories on the bike, followed by 15 GHD sit-ups and 15 push jerks, and then 9 calories on the bike, 9 GHD sit-ups, 9 push jerks. Now, most of us are doing the at-home modifications, meaning in that first round, we're doing 21 sets of the mountain climber and plank shoulder taps on each side, followed by 21 weighted sit-ups, and then 21 of those push jerks. Same thing for the round of 15, same thing for the round of 9. So your score is going to be the time it takes to get through these 3 rounds of descending reps of each of these 3 movements. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and I'll get us going. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown. And then I'm going to highlight Twin One to get us going. So here we go, guys. 21 mountain climbers and plank shoulder taps. 21 weighted or unweighted sit-ups. 21 push jerks. And then it's all downhill from there. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off on these 21 sets of the mountain climber plank shoulder taps. Or it could be we're doing these off the incline. 21 sets of the knee to elbow plank shoulder taps. And we have the seated variation, of course. And perhaps some of us have that bike. And so whatever we did in that 1 minute test in the warm up there, by the way, that is a good amount for us to use in the middle round. And then in this first round here, we're doing about 1.5 times that. And then in the last round, we're doing about half of that. So that's how we scale. You know, every bike measures calories differently. And so in the 1 minute test, we're using that as the middle round. We're doing 1.5 times that in this first round and then half of that in the last round. But we are getting through these, hopefully jumping most of them if we can, stepping out some mountain climbers as needed. And let's remember to use oxygen efficiently. We want to get deep breaths, and especially when we're trying to push, we want to push that air out. And that's what's going to help us to keep moving as best as we can. And we got twin one on these weighted sit-ups, hugging that dumbbell. Notice hugging it and not punching it forward. And so let's make sure that we're doing the version of the sit-up that's better for us, whether it's weighted or unweighted, maybe even just swinging the arms for momentum. And we got Mighty Mouse as well, doing some weighted sit-ups here. But nice work here. Ironman Dean joining in on some sit-ups. And so keeping those arms folded across the chest, but getting the full range of motion from that incline bench. Decline, I should say. And the sit-ups are a motion that it's very easy for us to burn out that core very quickly. And so we may need to break this up into small sets of like 3 to 5 at a time, taking some rest so that we don't burn out that core too early in the workout. So let's keep breathing. Let's push through this, bracing every single rep. As we lay back, breathe in. As we sit forward, breathe out. That's going to be a good way to balance getting that air, but bracing that midline. And we got twin one, stepping up to that bar. Now, this is a big set of 21. We're not necessarily looking for this to be all in one shot, but I kind of like the strategy of 10, 7, 4 on a set of 21. Hitting a good set of 10 out the gate, and then taking a quick breather, hitting another 7, and then we only got 4 left after that. So we got twin one, hitting that dip, punching that out. Feet close together. Let's get those elbows up a little bit more, Dean, at the bottom. There we go, much better. Hitting that dip, hitting that jump, hitting that punch under. Millicent as well. Hitting that dip, hitting that punch under. Mighty Mouse pushing all the weight. So twin one is taking our first strategic break there, starting off with a nice big set, about to hit a middle set, and then a small set to finish off the 21. But nice work here, guys. Twin one cleaning that bar back up, getting right into that next set. Millicent hitting that jump, hitting that punch. Let's punch those arms faster there, Millicent. You're fast with the legs. Let's also be fast with the arms. That was better. And we are doing this here, guys. Getting through the round of 21. And then after all 21 of these, we're gonna hop back onto that bike. Looks like Dean making quick work of that round of 21. Moving on to the round of 15. So reminder here, whatever amount of calories we got in that 1 minute test, if we're on a bike, that's what we're doing in this middle round here. Twin one, just a couple reps left to finish off those 21. And then, boom, there she goes, moving on to the round of 15. Millicent on this round of 15, Mighty Mouse on this round of 15. And we are out here, guys, everyone on track to finish within today's target window. And these target windows are the best guide to measure our progress through this program and to challenge ourselves appropriately. When we first start out, we are doing the flex options and weights. But then as we start earning badges, we may start to use the scaled options and weights. And as we're able to finish within the target windows with those, we can move on to the intermediate targets and weights. And as we're able to finish in the target windows with those, we can move on to the RX targets and weights. And everyone's journey to RX is different from person to person, from day to day, from workout to workout. It could be that RX is a good option for us today, maybe not on tomorrow's workout. But as long as we are earning badges and picking weights and options that allow us to finish within a target window, that's how we'll get the most out of each workout and this program. And we are deep into the round of 15 here on these sit-ups, getting full range of motion all the way back, all the way up. Shoulders in front of the hips at the top. Hugging that weight. So not punching that weight out. If we choose to add a weight, it should be something that we can do without having to punch it out. Otherwise, let's do without the weight or even swing those arms as needed. But Mighty Mouse already done with the 15 sit-ups onto the 15 push jerks. Now, following the same principle of the last round, I kind of like a big set than a little set. I really like a 9 and 6 in the round of 15. It could be that we can hit all 15 in a row. Or hey, you know what? Maybe it could be that we need to do 7, 5, and 3. But we've got lots of different options here to get through this round of 15, starting with a bigger set, finishing off with a little set as needed. But let's get at least a good 7 or so out of the way. 9 if we can. In this round of 15 to start things off on the push jerks. Hitting that dip, hitting that punch under, and making sure we stand up to finish. It's very common to punch under, but then we pull our arms back down before we've extended everything to finish. So let's really make sure that we're punching under, but then standing up. And there we go, Millicent, jumping, punching fast, standing to finish each time. Ironman Dean on these 15. Getting those elbows up, hitting that punch. And just like that, Mighty Mouse done with the 15 already, onto the round of 9 on this bike. The 9 is the lightning round. But let's get through this middle 15 if we're still on these push jerks. Hitting that dip, hitting that punch under. Fast legs, fast arms there, Millicent. Let's remember to punch fast. There we go, locking that out faster. We are finishing off all 15. Boom, there goes twin one. About to dive into this round of 9 on the bike. Millicent on this bike. Dean on this bike. This is going to be a super exciting finish here. Mighty Mouse already on these sit-ups. Getting low, all the way back up. But we are punching through it. Doing what we gotta do. And if we're on an actual bike here, then half of whatever we just got in that 1 minute test, that's gonna be a good amount to do in this last round. Twin one, moving at a furious pace. I always love the friendly rivalry between Twin One and Mighty Mouse, but hey, Mighty Mouse already with that bar in hand, looking to close this out. And you know what I like in the round of 9? I like an unbroken 9. Let's hit that bar. Let's punch that out. Finishing off these sit-ups, Twin One, taking that breath. About to hit that clean. And let's go for this unbroken 9 over here. Mighty Mouse with just a couple reps left. Almost there. Millicent as well, joining in on this bar. And Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Twin one right behind Millicent. Let's do this. Just a couple reps left over here. Hitting that jump, hitting that punch. Almost there. Millicent. And there goes Millicent. And Iron Man Dean getting this bar up here for the last time. Let's cheer on Dean here, guys. Pushing all the kilos. There goes 1. There goes 2, 3. Let's extend each rep there. There we go. Stand it all the way up. Nice. Just a couple left to go. Boom. Pushing that bar. And there goes Dean across the finish line. Man, always super exciting to see everyone give it their all and push to do their best. But you know what? Now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. This stretch helps us to fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today, the seated pull. So we're going to simply get those legs out in front of us, and we're going to reach toward those toes. If we could reach the toes, awesome. Hey, if this is all we got, that's cool too. If we could reach past the toes, which is not me, but that is great for you. But let's reach as far forward as we can. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to have those feet together and reach as far down as we can, like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch positions. We're going from this seated forward fold into a straddle. Let's get those legs out to the side and reach as far forward as we can. And while we're doing this, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, now we're going to get those legs out to the side and reach as far down as we can like this. But what is your high-low buffalo twin one?
So my high was the weighted sit-ups, low was the push jerks, and the buffalo was that I almost beat Mighty Mouse. Almost. I was close.
And I'll tell you what, it's always exciting to see that little mini rivalry there. Maybe one of these days it's gonna happen, but Mighty Mouse is a machine. So good job there, twin one, doing your best. Let's go ahead and switch to butterfly. We got feet in, knees out. Let's flap those wings, opening up the hips, putting some gentle downward pressure with the elbows. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting those arms to the side, pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high, surprisingly, is the push jerks. I use heavier weights than I normally did, so I listened to your advice. I broke it down and did a steady, took it slow on at 21. I didn't have a low, but the buffalo is how much just inside helps me sweating on top of the heat. So it was a good workout.
Yeah, you bring the energy, which brings that sweat, and I'm so glad that you're coachable, and applying that pacing strategy is what was the game changer that helped you to get yet another victory today. And so good job, Mighty Mouse. Let's go ahead and move on to the saddle. So it helps to start the saddle in a kneeling position like this, and we're gonna sit back toward those heels. Hey, if this is all we got, that's cool. If we could sit back, that's great. If we could lean further back, that's even more awesome. And some of you ladies are super flexy, like twin one over here, getting all the way back, doing the most on this saddle. But while we're over here, let's hear from Iron Man Dean. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're gonna get those hands on the shoulder blades and pull as far back as we can. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
I think the high was the workout because it was only 3 rounds and it was going down rather than going up. So I like that. The low was probably I could have used more weight from the start. Yeah, buffalo. Yeah, it was a good workout.
Yeah, I did notice those kilos kept getting packed on as the rounds went on. And I agree, you probably could have started with the weight that you finished with, but still within the target window. So no harm done. You still got a great workout in hitting that stimulus. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. Let's go ahead and hit this sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Fit crew.
Fit crew.
Mm.
Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.